We slept in this morning, Jaylo.
Right.
Mostly I did.
Mostly you did.
Run me through this. Yes. I remember waking up and Miss A said something that it was around 8:15. Were you already up before me?
Yeah, I was kind of waking up. I think I started waking up about 7. I don't remember when I went to sleep. I must have gone to sleep like between 12 and 1.
Something like that, because I stayed up until around 2.
Yeah.
And I heard some noises.
Oh!
I didn't say they were associated with you, babes.
Oh my goodness.
But they kind of were.
Hey!
All right, babes.
That's enough.
Sorry, babes.
That's enough.
All right, babes.
Enough.
Okay. Anyway,
noises aside.
Luckily, you said, well, let's take a 15-minute nap, which I wanted to do anyway, but I'm super glad you brought it up.
I was a little bit tired, but I don't even remember when I woke up, but it wasn't as long as, yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fall asleep immediately, and then I was like, just out.
Yes, you were.
For about an hour and a half. And then around 9:45, you woke me up.
9:34, actually.
9:34, okay.
Yeah, it was about 9:34, and it was getting late. So.
How long were you up for?
I don't even know, actually.
Were you able to take that nap?
Kind of. I mean, it was a little, I was out for a little bit, but I wasn't, I don't think it was a really long time.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I was like, I'm still kind of tired, but I'm awake too. But by the time I got up, I was wide awake. So
that's good, babes.
Yeah.
It was a nice little nap.
For you.
For me. We took a nap yesterday, didn't we? After watching Ted Lasso, or am I remembering?
Yes, but I didn't really sleep that long. I think it was like a good, maybe close to an hour, but it was.
How long did I rest? I don't even remember.
Let's see. I think I woke up like a little bit after 1:30, somewhere around there, but I don't even know when you went to sleep, to tell you the truth.
We've gone down this rabbit hole before, but one thing I really hate about getting older is my memory isn't nearly what it used to be.
I think it still is.
But, well, it's weird because I remember things that happened 20 years ago, like they happened yesterday. But then I have to ask you, how long was I asleep for and did we take a nap? I hate that.
Either that or you're just not using it very well.
You think I should do, like, memory games with myself?
Yes.
Okay. You might have a point there. And...
Well, I mean, it's what I've told my sister.
Yeah. And what I was about to say is before the pandemic, I used to go to poetry readings a lot.
Yep.
The advantage to that was I'd have to memorize what I was going to perform because I don't like reading from a page. That's really complicated as a blind guy, even if you're going to do Braille. Yes. So I think that helped keep my memory a lot sharper through the years. Yeah. And now that I'm not doing that right now, it's just not as good as it was. So maybe I should go back to memorization.
I think it is good. I just think maybe you just need to strengthen it.
It's always been better than the average person. Oh. But I've always done exercises like that.
Well, my memory's pretty sharp too, Bubs.
Not as good as mine.
We're not comparing memories here, Bubs.
You were the one who brought it up, babes.
We're not comparing memory here, Bubs.
Okay, but you were literally just the one who brought it up. Well, my memory's good too, Bubs.
Well, I'm just saying, Bubs, because you make it sound like your memory's like the best out of everybody's memory.
No, but it is superior. And I'm not just saying that. I've been tested. I have. And I have a superior memory than most people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to see proof of that.
Oh, my goodness.
Doesn't that change over time if you don't use it?
I know, babes. This is literally what we're just talking about.
I know, exactly. That's what I mean. I think it's just a matter of strengthening a muscle that you still have.
Okay, so go back to memorization.
Yeah.
I hate memorizing poems, but I have seen how helpful it has been over the years. Not just with stuff like what we were just talking about, but also just I feel a lot more comfortable on stage when I know that I have a piece down.
I hear of really clever ways that people think of to memorize things. Like if they're trying to remember somebody's name, they'll associate something that the person either has on or what they're into.
Yeah, they talk about that in Moonwalking with Einstein.
Oh, wow. And then, of course, there's the memorization technique of chunking.
Yeah, they also talk about that in that book.
It's really helpful.
I hope I didn't say this here.
Yeah.
I gave that book to a friend of mine in 2014 or 15.
Yeah.
And I'd read it in 2011.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
He reads the book, and then I see him at the beginning of 2017, and we discussed the book in 2015 and how he read it. And this is like January of 2017. We were hanging out again, and he says, "Oh, I just started reading that book, Moonwalking with Einstein. I want to improve my memory."
Well, too bad you read it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't remember it at all. That's just so weird when that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if you discussed it here, but I remember that you told me that in private.
I had another situation,
Hilarious.
babes,
with
a friend of mine. In 2011, I gave, and I'm friends with these two guys, but they're also friends with each other.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I gave our mutual friend the book Outliers.
Yeah.
Which is a really good book, but I've heard that some of the science in it is a little bit suspect. But I still liked it.
Okay.
And my friend reads it, writes me an email talking about how great it is. I bring up the book with him about 4 years later, and he had no memory of reading it, and he had to reread it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's happened to me, too, though. I'll tell you what book that happened with me. I think it was, oh, God. I almost said Rebels on the Backlot, but it wasn't that book. Oh, see, now I don't even remember the name of it. It was some film book about the independent movie scene in the 1990s.
I'm sure you'll remember it later.
Yeah, after we're done doing this.
Yeah.
But I hate it when stuff like that happens.
That's okay. I mean, a lot of people do that. You know, a lot of people go through periods of brain fog or whatever you'd call it.
Okay, so you are a religious person. I understand that we're flawed. But why do you think it is that God doesn't give us perfect memories? Because you think that we could do a lot more if we had that.
Well, because we're not immortal beings.
Okay.
And you know, I think that God has given us a brain for a reason, but some people use it more than others, and some people have better memories they're better at memorizing things, and some people just don't use their memory.
Right, but let's take the word perfect. Let's say instead of being 100% spot on, your memory is 95% there. Don't you think that would make our society a lot more easier to navigate if we just had excellent memories?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Okay.
That's something you have to take up with God.
Well, you know, you read about this stuff.
Well, why don't you ask him, Bubs?
Oh God!
You can't. All right.
Yes.
If you're gonna mock, then it's pretty much over.
How would you ask God about that?
Well, I would just, you know.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Well, I mean, I'm okay. So I can't really answer that question, honestly. Yes. I don't know about the whole memory thing. I have some relatives that actually have to ask me to remember stuff for them, and I'm like, why can't you just write it down or think of a way to remember it instead of depending on me to remember your information? It drives me crazy sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why do I have to be like the walking brain or whatever we call it? I don't know. It's like, it kind of drives me crazy a little bit. It's like, I memorize stuff because that's what I depend on is my memory, but some people just don't use it as much.
Here's a question for you. So you think that when we die, God is going to judge us for our deeds on this planet, and then
well, depending on what they are, though.
Okay. After the judgment thing, do we retain the memories we had of this lifetime?
Well, there are some people that believe that when the if you're talking about when the new heavens and the new earth pass, or I'm sorry, when the old heaven and old earth pass away, that's there are some people that believe that all our memories will be wiped out for our old life, and that may actually be true, and I think that there may be some truth to that. When it comes to now, when people die and they go to heaven now, right?
Okay.
I I think that people do remember things about their life because they do remember the people that have gone before them. And they see, the people that are there will remember who they are. But I think when everything is all said and done and the new heaven and the new earth come to pass, then things are going to be completely new. But I think that I don't think it's going to be it's going to be like we're starting over again, I think. But again, there are people that don't think so.
Yeah, in Buddhism, there's a lot of talk of we'll lose our memories. I'm paraphrasing, of course, and there are many different forms of Buddhism. I'm a white guy. I didn't grow up a Buddhist. But there's a lot of talk of reincarnation and that memory is maybe a form of attachment. I think it's a theory that some Buddhists have. And so, like, why should we keep our memories? This is just keeping us attached to this lifetime.
Yeah, it's a little bit out there for me.
Of course it is.
Bubs.
What? I'd love to go to a Buddhist temple with you one day. And I thought of the idea, what if we do a religious exchange program or a share program? I go to a fire and brimstone church with you. And then the next week, you come and meditate with me at a Buddhist temple.
I have to think about that, Bubs.
Okay. I think that might be fun, but I don't know. I don't want to go to a fire and brimstone church either. So
you haven't been there before, have you?
No, of course not.
Well, it may be good for you.
Uh-oh.
You may get some things out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It may be something you need.
I doubt that. The meditation may be something you need, Jaylo.
No, there's a different way of meditating, but not that.
I love you, babes.
I don't think that meditating has to involve emptying everything. Yeah. Even
though you said that there's a possibility our memories might be emptied at some point.
Well, that's a totally different subject.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with meditation.
Have you never seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
No, we've talked about this. I have not.
See, this is how bad my memory is.
No. We've talked about this, and no, I haven't seen it, but we've talked about what the premise was.
I know a lot of people who love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's good stuff in it. I don't think it's the best film ever. I think it's okay, though. But there's a few things in there that are a little bit, like, suspect to me.
Okay.
But the concept is very interesting, and I'd like to read a book with the same premise.
So basically, not erasing all your bad memories.
Yes, especially when it comes to being in a relationship. Because he dated Kate Winslet, I believe.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
So he was the one who had his bad memories erased.
Yeah, and then eventually she goes in to have her memories erased, and the dude who does the erasing ends up dating her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen it. I heard it's a very interesting concept.
I think it could have been executed a little bit better, in my opinion, but people love that movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of films I don't really dig that everybody else loves.
I honestly think that there are reasons why we have memory,
mm-hmm.
and there are reasons why we have bad memories, especially. But I'm the kind of person that thinks that every little thing has its own reason and purpose.
I used to be that way, and since the pandemic started, I've moved a little bit off of that. And we went into this yesterday of kind of like, does any of this matter?
Yes,
but
it does.
Before the pandemic, I was more in line with that type of philosophy that everything has its purpose. And now I'm like, does it really?
Well, even this whole thing has its purpose. This whole crazy, the reason why we're in this, I believe, has a purpose, even though we can't really see it.
I would agree with you, except for it doesn't seem like anybody's learning any substantial lessons from this.
Well, how do you know that nobody's learning it?
I'm telling you, that's what it seems like.
Okay.
And it seems like there's so many big events in my life that nobody's learned the right lessons for, whether it's school shootings or 9/11 or the subprime mortgage crisis of 2008. It seems like, well, Yeah, I get the point in having disasters if we're going to learn from them. But I don't get the point of it if we're just going to ignore them and sweep them under the rug and not get any lessons from them.
Are you getting upset?
No, I'm not. I'm going on a bit of a rant.
You seem very, very...
No, I'm actually pretty calm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday you didn't seem very calm to me. You seemed very depressed.
But it's kind of the similar thing as what we were talking about yesterday. I don't mind disasters if there's a learning moment in them.
Well,
right?
I mean...
But it seems like we have all these societal disasters where we skip the learning moment.
Well, I think there's an entirely bigger picture that there are people who see the bigger picture and people that don't. And a lot of it has to do with hope. There are people that have hope and there are people that don't.
Yeah.
And the people who have hope see the bigger picture as something completely and totally different. And it's a lot more optimistic. But other people do not and feel like this is the end all be all, whatever it is. Or not end all be all, but it's like the end of everything, which I don't think it's the end of everything as of yet.
You're more like Ted Lasso, who doesn't like the term, they say it's the hope that kills you. And I'm more like Red from Shawshank Redemption, who thinks hope is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, I see I see everything, or I see this whole entire thing as the glass is only half full. There's an entirely, it's a totally different.
I would if I thought we were learning from it. You see, that's a caveat to
this. Wait a minute though. Have you learned from it?
Yes, but society as a whole hasn't learned from it. We're still divided.
But wait a minute. How do you know that society hasn't learned from it? I'm sure that there are people that have thought of it and they don't know what to do about it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that just because our society is divided, that our whole society hasn't learned from it. I think that there are people that do have solutions or something that could build up to a solution, but there are people that are very corrupt that don't want any solutions.
Right, but the corrupt ones are the ones who are in power, right? So, and our society is still divided. And as far to the left I actually think the right and the left have more to agree on than disagree on. But you wouldn't know that because of how divided everybody is. Now, we could just say, well, this is the news blowing it out of proportion. But how many people do you know who have major issues talking with their own family members about politics or about what's the general mood of the country?
I mean, myself included,
yeah.
Of course. Yeah, we can't even have a civil conversation at the dinner table about somebody storming out or whatever it is.
But sorry to interrupt you, but do you feel like that was the case in the 90s, or could you have more of a discussion with your relatives about politics?
The 90s, I have no idea because I was so out of the loop with politics. I was trying to ward guys away from me. That's okay. What I was trying to survive high school. I was trying to survive my formative school years. I wasn't even thinking about politics because I didn't think it really affected me, honestly. Interesting. But I got into it much later. I was a late bloomer.
That's fair.
And I just wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was thinking about surviving elementary school, middle school, and high school and trying to figure out what college I wanted to go to.
Yeah, so I kind of think these things that could have been learning moments ended up dividing us. So let's go with the creation or the popularization of the internet, right? That's like the huge elephant in the room. That should have been a point where we could have come together as a country and said, let's all learn together. But instead, we came to the same conclusion that what we were being told was a lie, but we disagreed on the solution. So we all kind of went down these narrow paths. Then we have something kind of a little bit after, but kind of along the same lines as a popularization of the internet, 9/11. Well, that divided people even more because there was a tragedy and then there was the reaction of the tragedy. And some people thought it was a good idea to go to war, others didn't. So we get more divided instead of coming together. And around that time we had school shooting.
But there's I think it's not so much a learning thing. I think that the whole big picture of it is that we need to go through these things. And there are people that will learn from them and do better, and there will be people that will not learn from them until it's too late.
I agree with a lot of what you just said. Again, and then we can drop it because we are going into the weeds here.
Yeah, and whose fault is that?
That's your fault.
That's your fault.
Okay. But I mean, if we're not growing as a society, if we're just growing in these separate directions, then how much did the tragedy really help us learn?
Well,
or these series of tragedies.
So I mean, those are deeper questions that I really don't have the answers to, and I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, because I think one of the lessons we could have taken away from all of the dis-ease in our country over the last 30 years is maybe we should try to love each other a little bit more. Not just you and me, but I'm talking about as a people. Like maybe we should come together and look out for each other in some way.
Yes, it's very tough. It's very tough. But that is one solution. But I really do believe, as hopeful as I am, there's gonna be, things are gonna get worse before they get better.
Oh.
And, I'm not the kind of person that's like, we all need to live in harmony, because it's not going to be that way all the time. It has to get worse before it gets better.
I agree with you. It's not going to be that way all the time, but could it be that way some of the time?
Well, if some of us want it to be, yes. I mean, even if it's just in our own communities.
Mm.
But as far as the whole world is concerned, there's someone else in charge, and it's not us.
Oh.
I'm just going to say that there. And with that, I think we should talk about something else.
Okay, let's get off of pessimistic Rick for a while.
All right.
We love pessimistic Rick.
I don't.
What?
I have to deal with it.
Oh my goodness.
I love Rick, not so much the pessimism.
Well, okay, let's actually go down this rabbit hole. No, hold on. How do you deal with pessimistic Jaylo so that she doesn't, I'm speaking, how do you deal with the pessimistic side of you so that it doesn't become like an overwhelming thing? Because you actually do really good at that.
Well, praying really helps me.
Okay.
I don't try to, I'm the kind of person that kind of lets things, kind of roll off my back.
Mm.
Because I've been through some things in my childhood that I've witnessed that no child should have to witness. I've been through other things like discrimination, and, I've been hurt by people, but I've taken those lessons and I've treated them as learning, things, as we just talked about. I've treated them as lessons to learn, and it's made me better, and I have to think of what, I should do better the next time. Yeah.
Like I can't fix society, but I'd like to do some work on pessimistic Rick. And so one of the ideas I've been experiencing or experimenting with is the idea of micro-forgiveness, right? So...
Micro-forgiveness?
Hold on, I'm going to explain this to you.
And I wasn't finished with what I said, by the way.
Okay, good. Do you want to finish it, or do you want me to talk about micro-forgiveness?
Well, really quickly, I was going to say before I was so abruptly interrupted.
I get interrupted a lot. Keep going. Keep going, babes.
Well, so not only do I learn from these lessons, but I realize that there is, that somebody else is in charge of my life and it isn't me.
Okay.
And I'm not going to try to control stuff, because if I control stuff, it always backfires. And, because I know that eventually things are going to eventually fall into place, even if it takes a while, then, there's no reason for me to be so pessimistic.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's
talk about micro-forgiveness.
Okay.
And this is a concept that came into my head, but I'm sure somebody else has it feels original, but I'm sure somebody else came up with a similar concept. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to forgive my parents, mm-hmm. or, ex-friends, because there's so much, hurt there and mm-hmm. history and whatnot. So the idea is, what if instead of looking at that, like I have to do that, before then, I say, well, yeah, that's great, but let's experiment with the idea of forgiving people who mildly annoy you first. And then we at least get into the habit of forgiveness. So it could take the form of I'm talking with a couple of friends of mine on the phone, and one of them just interrupts me when I'm about to say something interesting.
Right.
And instead of just holding it in for the next week, I say to myself, you know what? The person was probably excited. Maybe there was a bad phone connection. Or maybe, you know, they didn't think I was going anywhere. Whatever. And I can practice forgiving them.
Okay.
What do you think of that idea? Of these small forms of forgiveness to get you into the idea of it?
I mean, I've never tried that.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to be a very forgiving person with every situation. It's not always easy, but I guess. I mean, I don't know. I never thought of that.
Interesting.
I don't like rate the kind of person that I have to forgive. I just know that it's good for me to forgive those people. As hard as some of that can be.
Yes. Well, good, babes.
Because I don't want to hold on to hurt for a long time. I know people that still hold on to grudges, and they're not happy because of that.
Yes.
And they just keep bottling stuff up, and they just hate the person, and they just cannot get over it. They can't get over it. It just hurts them so much, and it takes over their life. I don't want to be that kind of a person.
No.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad we explored this, Jaylo.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Jaylo.
Yes.
We watched some Ted Lasso yesterday.
Oh, that was a good episode, but also at times quite intense.
It starts off with Dr. Sharon talking with her mental health professional,
Bridget,
about Ted Lasso. And she's talking about, you know, whenever I think I'm getting close to having a breakthrough, he'll say some dumb pun based on a thing that is common to like a white male from
a 40-year-old white male from American white male or whatever it is. Yeah.
And her mental health professional says something to the effect of, well, you know, you do that with language. You try to sound superior to somebody.
Because of your intelligence.
Yes. Yeah. So it's just taking a different form.
Yeah.
Dr. Sharon is riding on her bike, gets hit by a car, and the phone for some reason goes to Ted, who then travels to the hospital to see her, and he takes her home. Mm-hmm. And based on this, their professional mental health relationship begins to grow.
Yeah. While
this is going on, Sam and Rebecca have finally agreed to go out on a date.
So they don't know that they're...
Exactly.
They don't know that they are going to see each other.
Right. Sam is so excited, he asks Isaac to give him a haircut. And this is a very big deal. Everybody's watching this.
He's doing some tricks with the razor.
And then, you know, the hair doesn't look all that different after that.
Does it?
Not really. They go to the bar and put it together, and Rebecca's like, I can't do this. You're 24. He says,
no,
I'm actually 21.
And she's like, but I'm your boss.
Yes.
This is terrible. And she's like, how old is she? Like,
I'm guessing early 50s.
Wow. I thought she was younger than that, but I guess, you know, maybe not.
That's my assumption.
Okay.
So they go on to do their thing.
They go back to her place.
Not right away, babes. They go separately.
Okay. Yeah.
We have a big game coming up.
Yep.
And Ted's kind of been zoning out a little bit. We do the game. I believe they lose.
Yes, they do lose. Yes.
Oh, we should also say Roy has been called into Phoebe's school because she's been swearing a lot. And the teacher says, well, where do you think she got that from? And then he puts it together.
Yeah. And so I'm not really, I'll just say this before we go on. I'm not really sold on Roy yet, but I did like the conversation that he had with her and saying, you know, I think, I love being with you, but I really think I'm infecting you, and I don't want to do that, and you're a better person than I am, and
I love that scene too, but for a little bit of a different reason. Near the end of it, Phoebe says, maybe we can stop swearing together. And he's like, I'm not going to fucking do that. I just think that the reason the Roy Phoebe thing works so well for me is because he doesn't pander to her. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm. But that's you though.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I don't know. This is why I don't think it's a family show at all.
People swear in front of kids in real life.
Yes, they do, but is it right? No, it isn't.
But does it happen all the time? Yes, it does.
It does, but it shouldn't.
Now, I will say this. When my nephew lived here as a little kid, when he was a little kid.
He's still a little kid.
He's still a little kid.
Yes.
And he'll always be a little kid to me. Aww.
Aww.
Aww. Any event.
Nah.
And you saw me around him a lot.
Yeah.
I did not swear in front of my nephew.
No, you actually did not do that.
Yes.
And I was very surprised, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe I wasn't so surprised because you actually have, you actually know when to filter and when not to filter. Mm. Some people just can't control it.
But you probably also could tell that I kind of tried not to dumb it down too much. You know what I mean? Would you agree with that or no?
To dumb it down?
Yeah. You know how... This is what I don't like about adults when they're around kids. They always try to dumb things down.
Oh, you mean like to make them seem like they're dumb?
Well, no, I mean they always tone down the situation. I don't know. It just feels like adults always pander to kids, and I don't like that.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I wasn't like, oh, sweetie, it's time to have dinner now. I wasn't like that.
Oh, you mean like how faculty and staff talk to kids in elementary schools?
Yes.
Oh, well, all right. Okay, yeah. You didn't make him seem like he was smaller than what he was.
Exactly.
So you were talking to him as if you were talking to a younger person, but not not in a condescending way.
Exactly. That's a much better way to phrase it.
Okay, so you weren't yeah. I like that you weren't condescending, and I've had people in my life that were condescending to me when I was a younger girl. Mm-hmm. And I hate that. I mean, it doesn't even matter how old I get. There are people that still talk to me and they're kind of condescending towards me.
But I wasn't that way with my nephew.
No. I appreciated that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I really like Roy and Phoebe's dynamic together, and I usually don't like that type of stuff on TV shows where it's like the old person with the cute little kid. Yeah. But on the show, it works.
I also like the kind of the relationship that her and Keeley have.
Yeah.
She's getting to know Phoebe because of Roy. Mm-hmm. And how Keeley, I'm sorry. That's how she's able to relate to Phoebe, especially in that Christmas show when they had to go to the look for a dentist. Episode. Are you a dentist?
Yes.
No. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, getting back to the show, they play the game and they lose. Or did they win? What happened?
They lost.
They lost.
They lost because something happened before the episode was done.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of back at the locker room doing their thing.
And Sam was interviewed.
Yeah, but Ted steps out of the room. Was this the episode with Jamie's dad?
Yes.
Yeah, see, this is how bad my memory is.
Okay, so let me just clear up some things.
Go ahead.
So they go, okay, so after Sam and Rebecca go to the bar, because we didn't quite finish that scene, things are happening, and then the team loses and all that. And then remember that scene where I'm sorry.
I'm going to get to this.
Okay.
So Jamie's dad comes back in, he's giving him shit. Coach Beard comes over and kicks him out, but first he drops him to the ground and he leaves.
Yeah.
The dad does, and Roy Kent comes up and hugs Jamie, and then the whole team embraces him. Ted leaves the room, calls the doctor, and says, "My dad killed himself when I was 16 years old." And then he starts crying over the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Your girl Rebecca comes back to her place turns on the TV
and sees
Sam giving a thing, talking about it. And then she starts texting with him. He texts her his address. She goes to leave and he's outside the door and he's like, I texted you that for next time. The episode ends. We assume that they make love, not war.
No, they're making out in the last season.
Yeah, and that's pretty much
Which is kind of strange because Rebecca and Sam as a couple is a little bit interesting.
You thought it was going to be her and Ted.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I didn't think that so much in the beginning of the first season, of course, because I thought that she hated him. But
she hated what he represented.
She hated what he represented, but then she realized that Ted wasn't, that she was ruining his life.
Yes.
And then eventually she started to warm up to Ted. So I thought that if he didn't end up with Flo, that he was going to end up with her.
We're going to have to keep watching. So I actually don't know because season 3 hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
And they're saying that that's going to be the last season. Hopefully they stick to that and they don't be like, take 3 years off and then, but what if Ted, came back here or, something weird like that.
Yeah, I think once the show is over, it should be over. That's what I say.
I love Frasier and I hate that they're planning to bring it back.
I know. It's like, why? I mean, let the psychologist rest.
Yeah. Well, what if Frasier came back to Seattle at some point?
No.
What if this? Don't you want to see what happened with Daphne's kid?
Yeah, I don't want to know what happens with Frasier and Charlotte.
No.
It's like, come on. That is just, after that show's been on for 11 seasons, right? I think it was.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Let it rest.
Maybe it should just be up to the audience to speculate what may have happened to these characters.
Exactly.
You don't have to answer every single question about where Frasier is at every point in his existence.
Yeah, nobody needs to have two sequels of Beverly Hills 90210.
Exactly.
I already saw one of their shows, and that was enough for me.
I'm about to say something, and I hope that I don't eventually have to go back on this.
Okay.
I know people who think that Frasier is better than Cheers. I think Frasier's a great show. But for me, already know this, Cheers is the tops.
Ad nauseum.
Okay, it's the gold standard for sitcoms. But one of the reasons is they're not bringing Cheers back. You get to wonder, well, what happened to Sam?
Yeah.
What happened to, is Cliff still going to the bar? And I like that I don't know.
It's kind of like going back to your old high school. You know what I mean? You don't have to go back to your old high school. Just keep the memories. I saw a thing this week, and that's actually a great example. What?
On the MLC Facebook page, apparently there's going to be a high school reunion from around the time I was there. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit kind of suspect on when the actual date is. They say a 20-ish year high school reunion.
So speaking of reunions,
well,
right?
I wasn't done yet.
I'm sorry.
And I'm thinking to myself, I thought to myself for a minute, maybe I should go to that. That's going to be in March. That could be fun. And then I thought, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I never had a desire to go to any of my reunions because I was sent notices that there was a college reunion for my alma mater, and I was like, well, I don't know half of the people in that year except for the people in my department.
Yes.
And the College of Arts and Sciences is a big section of the school. So I'm just like, I don't know half of them except for the people in my department.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of people who feel the same way and won't be going there.
Yeah, too. It's like, I don't really, I don't really know anyone that I have to show them up or anything, because some people like to go to high school or college reunions to show people, I actually amounted to something.
I know. Here's why I would like to go to an MLC high school reunion.
Yeah.
One, because there's people there that I thought were cool.
I'm going to put my head here.
Okay. But two, I think it would be fun to go there and people would be like, so what's been going on with you, Rick? And I'd just be like, nothing. Absolutely nothing's happened.
No, but you've done stuff.
No, but you know what I mean. I think that would be fun to say.
That would be... I still look the same. I still sound the same.
I don't look the same.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing happened? No.
Because a lot of people, they want to try to lose weight.
Or they want to talk about, I traveled and now I have 3 kids who are all, they're supposed to be in kindergarten, but they're so smart. They're actually all in 8th grade or, something crazy like that. And I'd just be like, nah, nothing.
And then in my high school, the one that I graduated from, there was only 7 people, including myself, in my graduating class. So
a very special school.
We went. It's a blind school, bud. Okay. Everybody knows that.
I'll just be like, I changed girlfriends. I moved a couple of times, and that's about it. I did this thing that was a dick thing to do in high school.
Why am I not surprised?
Oh, I don't think I told you about this.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I was a bit of a weirdo in high school.
Doesn't surprise me.
Okay. I go out with, my high school girlfriend and, it's now senior year and there's some difficulties in the relationship. Spoiler alert, we ended up breaking up, but this really isn't about her. But the reason I bring her up in the story is she had visited my high school a couple of times the year before, which is kind of the setup for this story. Okay. So now it's like September and they're like, everybody needs to write something for the yearbook. And I write like a complete asshole. I want to thank all the girls who never went out with me. Meanwhile, I never asked a girl out at MLC. And I hung out with my ex-girlfriend who wasn't even at the school a couple of times. She came to like Renaissance Fair and like another thing at MLC. So of course I'm not going to have any, you actually have to ask some girls out and maybe, don't have your ex-girlfriend hanging out at the school. You know what I mean?
You guys had a Renaissance Fair?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun. And I actually, me and my friend, the one who took me to see Robin Williams, we had this thing we would do. We did it a couple of times where we would allow people to come up and ask us movie trivia questions.
Really?
And we try to answer them. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the point of the story is, well, of course I didn't date anybody from MLC.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not anybody else's fault except mine.
Well, maybe somebody thought of it as a joke.
I hope so, but in retrospect, that's kind of a dick thing to write.
I think it's kind of funny, actually.
Oh, thank you. I can see what that
a worse thing, like, now, if you were to trash a girl from MLC that you wanted to go out with,
no.
She wouldn't go out with you. That would be even worse.
No. There's nothing like that.
Okay.
Well, and how would I even know? I didn't ask anybody out who I was interested in.
No, I honestly think it's funny. Here. I'm going to move this.
Babes, actually, I asked out one girl in MLC, but it was when I was in middle school and she turned me down.
Oh.
I'm trying to think how old I was. Okay, so I asked that girl out in 8th grade, near the end of 8th grade. I'm not going to say her name, even though you've asked me to.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I did not.
I don't think I asked out a girl until sometime in my 20s. Like, all of it was, I know this makes me sound like a player. Every girl I dated until, like, the time I was 25 or 26 were all girls who asked me out.
Oh, really?
I have very little experience asking girls out on dates.
I am very surprised, actually.
Yeah, it's.
I really am surprised because when we met each other, I thought you were very outgoing, and
you're like the maybe 5th girl I've ever asked out on a date. It's almost always girls ask me out.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never once asked, I can honestly say that I never once asked a guy out. It was usually the guy asking me out, but I'm very surprised that you said that, actually.
And it's usually the way you say, it's usually the guy who asks out the girl. With me, it's the opposite.
But it just so happens that the girl asked you out instead of you asking her out for, the most of that.
In my past, yes. There's a couple of exceptions, but they're very few and far between.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I was really surprised, actually.
Mm-hmm. Very good there, Jaylo. Very good there. But that would explain why I didn't have more girlfriends in high school.
Well, you probably dated more than I have.
In general or in high school?
In general.
In general, yeah.
So, I don't know why you're complaining, but
No, I'm not complaining. What I'm saying, when I was in high school, I could have handled myself differently, babes, and I didn't have to write that shitty little comment.
Well, you don't want to go back to high school, Bubs.
Okay, babes, I'm just telling you something that happened.
I know. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yes.
We always think about the past, but there's nothing we can do about it. Unfortunately.
I know. I'm saying I wish I didn't write that, babes.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, thinking about that, I'm like, that's kind of funny, actually.
I think I meant it to be funny, but I could see how some people could misinterpret it.
Yeah, well, we think of things differently when we're that age.
Yes.
But I thinking about that, I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of funny.
Thank you, babes.
It's almost like to all the girls I've loved before, but the opposites.
To all the girls I felt indifferent about before.
Or to all the girls I felt indifferent about me.
Yes.
Anyway. Good song. To all the girls I've... Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let's get back to Ted Lasso for a second.
All right.
What do Sam and Rebecca teach us about finding love in unexpected places?
You just never know, I guess. You never know. It doesn't matter what age you are. Doesn't matter where you're from. You could find love, or at least close to it, anywhere.
Okay.
Even if it's just on a dating app.
Yes. I'm not going to... Should I tell the dating app story here? I have a couple.
Was this around the time that we met each other?
Well, there's one that you're thinking of that, yes, but I didn't want to share that one.
Okay.
I was thinking of the one that happened in 2016.
Uh-oh. Was it a disaster?
I think I may have told you about this.
Okay.
It's not, I don't know how interesting it is, but I'll tell it anyway.
All right.
So I had this I love the apartment I have now, but I had this apartment that was next level then, right? Really nice. It was a studio, but it was a huge studio.
In, Colorado?
No, this was here in Portland.
Oh.
This was like across the street from the Safeway on 26th and Hawthorne. So not too far away from where I live now. And it was new. There was a washer and dryer in the unit. I'm just trying to give you the details.
Is that the one where you had...
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't ask the question.
I know what you're going to ask.
No, you don't.
Yes. But so here's what happened. You were going to ask, is that the one? Go ahead.
I said, is that the one that you had to move into for about a few months?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the question I knew you were going to ask.
Ugh.
Okay. So I've heard that people did casual hookups on Craigslist. And this is before my Jaylo. I had a couple casual hookups. I'm not going to brag here. Jaylo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, but you know what? Let's go on there and see what we can find. Go on there, and I see a picture of this blonde girl who looks to be about 10 years younger than I was at the time. So if this was the summer of 2016, that would have made me 33 and her like 23 or 24. Okay? She writes this long post about how I just moved to Portland from the East Coast. I live in North Portland. I'm an artistic type. I'm really into poetry and the arts. I love to laugh, all this stuff. And at the time, a friend of mine was visiting me for the weekend. So I read it to him. He's like, oh man, this girl sounds perfect for you. I write her back something. And let's just say I have a lot of experience in the poetry scene. So my friend's like, you're one of the few people I know, Rick, who when they write about their experience with poetry, you might actually have to tone it down because the truth would seem a little bit too unbelievable to a girl, right? Mm-hmm. So I do. I mean, I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I tone it down, send the message. And like a day later, I'm in bed and I check my email and she wrote me back. So I'm like, I'm really excited. And I open up the email and it's all like, this sounds great, but I want to know a few things before I move to Portland. Have you ever hit woman? Do you believe it's okay to hit woman? Would you allow a woman to stay with you? Go on Google And you can do like a reverse image shirts.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So I don't know if it still works now, but you could upload the image of a person and it'll give you a rough idea who that person is. So I do it and they say this image is associated with frauds and scams.
Oh.
Usually it'll be somebody posing as an artist in their early 20s and saying that they're in a city. And then when you start to communicate with them, it goes a little bit deeper and you'll find out that there's a lot of lies. We think it's a scam out of Nigeria.
Well, because I've watched quite a bit of shows on about catfishing, I think you may have told me that story. I'm trying to remember. But one of the things to look for is the person actually knows English. Exactly.
So it's funny, right? But it's funny because I caught it early on and it's kind of like a ha-ha. Rick, had an odd experience on Craigslist. But I think to myself, there are a lot of guys out there who are more desperate than I am, who would have looked past something like that and continued going down this bizarre rabbit hole until eventually they ended up with a lot less money in their bank account and a lot more heartache. Well,
and then we've talked about this before. Older women are so susceptible to being frauded by catfish online because they're so willing to give a lot of money, especially if it's to a guy that says he needs to get out of Nigeria or needs to get out of whatever countries and just to go to the US. And that's one of the things to look for. If a person is trying to play on your emotions by asking you for money, that's not a good sign.
Exactly. And this person, the scam artist didn't do it yet, but they said in the emails that it was implied that it was going to come up soon within the next couple of emails. So, I did not go out with this fake young blonde.
You didn't go out with woman.
I didn't go out with woman.
Sorry.
And I ended up hitting computer, but not woman. But you know what I did do, babes? I talked to my friend about it.
Yeah.
And the one who was staying with me that weekend. And I almost wrote back an email saying, well, I no longer hit woman unless woman acts up. And then sometimes I need to exercise my fist on woman. So I was going to write back this response trying to say, I don't believe in hitting woman. Having said that, on occasion it is kind of fun and I won't have a punching bag around. So what am I supposed to do? But then I thought, well, if this email ever gets sent to the people at Craigslist, I could be in some trouble. So.
You could be in some trouble and then they call the police.
Yeah, I never did that. And Alana can attest, she's been dating me for almost 4 years. I do not hit woman.
No, because if he hit woman, then...
A woman would kick my ass to the curb.
That's right. Yes. That's right. Yes. Yeah. I would say, don't come back here no more.
Oh.
Anyway.
You say, don't come back and hit woman no more.
If you don't want a woman, cry.
Exactly.
If you don't want woman to cry.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about.
All right, Ted Lasso comes out that his dad committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that impacted Ted?
Oh, I would imagine that and I was thinking about this just yesterday, really. You know how he's very upbeat?
Yes.
He's very upbeat. He is, very willing to be a neighborly person. But I think one of the reasons why he's so upbeat and that's not necessarily a bad thing is because he had to be strong for his mother. And he had to grow up really fast. And also, he's trying to put that experience behind him. And to do that, he is trying to think a little bit more positively and to help people that really do need help. And I think because his dad is gone, he wants to be like another father to the players on his team.
I think you might have something there, babes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's just my hunch.
Well, good.
And because he can't be with his son physically right now because he's in London, he has an opportunity to make a difference in some of the players' lives. Yes. And also to the women that he is around.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think he wants to do the right thing.
How do you feel about Dr. Sharon now? Versus how you felt about her before seeing this episode.
Well, I honestly thought she was very pompous in the beginning, but, and I kind of have that weird thing about psychologists sometimes. Sometimes they are very nice, and sometimes they kind of give off this air of being intellectually sound, but not emotionally there. That's what I got with Dr. Sharon, that she was intellectual but not emotionally there. But because Ted gave her a chance and he said, well, I don't quit things. I think now the reason why she's so good is because she's willing to step into his world and other people's worlds. I just thought it was so funny when she started off there and she was speaking to the Danny Rojas in Spanish.
Yeah.
And the German guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry, the French guy and the Spanish guy. I'm like, oh, I guess it, if she knows other languages, that really pays off. Yes. That's great. And I think she talked to Colin.
I think so.
She probably talked to Jamie too.
Yes.
But she had a way of doing it, so. And I like that she told Ted, I actually do care about my patients. And I think that just gradually helped him to open up and say, hey, this is what happened. And he was willing to open up to the Diamond Dogs.
That's right.
His, I think it's really cute.
Thank you.
The Diamond Dogs. I mean, but I think that's why people like him so much because he can be relatable.
Yes.
And, if a guy goes through a very traumatic experience, either he comes out worse or he comes out improving himself.
Very true, babes.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad that you were liking the show.
It's definitely growing on me. I wasn't sure at first because a few episodes I had to get into.
Yeah, it takes a little while.
And maybe Jamie isn't so bad after this one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just as flawed as everybody else.
I never thought that Jamie was a villain. I just thought that he was an arrogant prick. But I never thought that he was out to kill or hurt anybody.
No, I never thought he was. I just didn't like him because of his arrogance. And I don't like arrogancy. And I'm still kind of not quite with Roy yet, but I understand where Jamie's coming from now, I think.
And you get why Roy is one of my favorite characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Roy is trying to kind of be another figure in Jamie's life too, even if he doesn't realize it. He's telling him to have fun. He's telling him to to be rude in certain times. In
certain times when it's appropriate.
Yeah, when it's appropriate, right?
Yeah.
So Roy knows that.
Yeah.
And I think that's that is possibly, along with Ted and Coach Beard and Nate, that even though his dad isn't the best dad ever for him, then there are other men that are stepping up and sort of taking kind of that role.
Good, babes.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad you're liking it there, Jaylo.
Yes.
Yes. Babes.
Yes.
We eventually made dinner last night.
It was really good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jambalaya mix.
Jambalaya rice mix. With
jambalaya.
Yes, with celery.
Sorry, go ahead.
With celery.
All right, sorry. That's a song Jambalaya by Hank Williams.
Goodbye, Joe.
We gotta go.
That was a song that was played on Radio Flyer, that movie I told you about.
Oh, interesting. Okay, they use it also in the Ken Burns documentary on country music.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they talk about Hank Williams a fair amount.
I think one of my favorite songs of his, and I don't know a lot of his music, is "Your Cheatin' Heart."
That's a good one. I also like the song that they use as a theme to The Life at Times of Tim, where it's like, I think it's called "I'll Never Get Out of This Life." I'll never get out of this world alive. Where it's like, da 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 da. I had a lot of luck and it's all been bad. No matter how hard I try, I'll never get out of this world alive. You've never seen The Life and Times of Tim?
No.
I thought it was a good cartoon.
Okay.
Yes.
It is a cartoon?
Yes.
Okay.
But babes, you have taken us on another rabbit hole. Let's get back to dinner.
No, you're the one who brought it up.
Okay, go ahead.
It was good. So it was a jambalaya mix with celery and some leftover chicken thighs. It's really, really good. It was very nicely seasoned.
Tomato sauce.
It was cream of chicken.
And no, wait, we had a tomato sauce too.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Oh, tomato sauce, cream of chicken with some gravy mix. It was delicious.
Yes.
And then on top of that, we would put some cheese and some sour cream to top it all off, and it was good.
We liked it.
And I got leftovers.
We only ate a bowl of it last night, but we had some leftovers for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's really good. And we made some cookies.
Peanut butter, chocolate chip.
Now I have a question.
Not chocolate chip.
Peanut butter.
Chocolate M&M.
Chocolate M&M.
Yeah, what's your question, babes?
So I noticed that when we made cookies a couple of times.
Yeah.
They felt a little bit crumblier than usual.
I noticed that too, and I think that's just, that's my fault. We should have left them in the oven a little bit longer.
Okay.
That's one thing we can do. We can also dust it a little bit with flour. We don't have to put in a whole cup.
Yeah.
But just putting a little bit will help it stick together a little bit more.
Okay. But they were delicious. And since I forgot the chocolate chips, like I said, I was going to get, which, next time I will,
Nice.
if we decide to, if and when we decide to make more cookies. We used a packet of my, Swiss Miss Cocoa mix that I like so much. And it provided a really good sweetness, even if it wasn't too sweet.
Absolutely.
And the peanut butter and the M&Ms were really, it was a good combination. And so, we finished off the cookies like I knew we were going to. And, that was that.
Babes.
Yes.
In the early 2000s, there was a movie that came out called Chicago.
Oh, yes.
And I heard about it, but honestly, this was around the time where movies were getting, in my opinion, more and more lame. So I thought, this is not going to be anything I'm going to be interested in. It's going to suck. And it's probably just a total chick flick. And, and
I said, I'm really excited to show you Chicago.
And I had a good friend of mine when I lived in Kona who went to see the movie. And he kind of said, it's not that good. Right? And I trusted this guy's opinion on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then last night, I couldn't avoid it any longer, babes. I made it almost 20 years without seeing this movie. But I never anticipated that my little Jaylo, who's all grown up now, would make me watch this film. And I gotta say, it was really good. I'd give it an 8.
Yes, I would give it the same thing.
I like the second movie more, but it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give me an overview of this film.
So, I liked it so much. I saw it in the movie theater, and I liked it so much that I had to get the DVD when it was out.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it many times afterwards. I loved the music. I loved the acting. I thought everybody was great in it. So basically the premise is, it starts off with, Velma Kelly, who's played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's supposed to perform with her sister Veronica in an act that they do together.
Yes.
So they're asking where she is. She says, "Oh, Veronica's not herself tonight." She goes into the bathroom, washes her hands, realizes there's blood on her hands.
Yes.
And you don't learn about it until a little bit later in the movie. And then you shoot to Roxy Hart, who's played by Renee Zellweger. And
You Had Me at Hello.
You Had Me at Hello. That's a different movie.
Okay.
It's not Jerry Maguire.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, bitch.
Okay. So Roxy Hart and Fred Casely are out on the town. They're on their date. We don't know much about them yet. And and they start canoodling at her place, I think it is. And, she thinks that Fred Casely is going to get her an act on vaudeville, for it to be a vaudeville act at the Onyx where she wants to perform. But she finds out later he never told the guy. Basically, he was using her for sex. And that was the end of that. And she ended up shooting him because he never made it out of her house alive.
No.
Well, they go down to the police station. Amos is her husband, played by John C. Reilly, giving the account of what happened. Like, I followed this guy out because I saw this guy in my in my house or on my property, and I see Roxy. She's sleeping like a baby, and suppose if I wasn't there, suppose she'd violated her. Violated her. And so the police officer says, wait a minute. It seems like, Fred Casely's been, coming over 3 times a week, blah, blah, blah. He's not he's like, well, yeah, we know Fred Casely. He's given us furniture. He's given us furniture, blah, blah, blah. And he finds out that Fred's been coming over more times a week than normal. And so he ends up ratting on her. She gets arrested. She meets up with these characters in the prison. There's a matron, Mama Morton, played by Queen Latifah. He's really good in that role.
Yep.
Velma Kelly's in the same prison. There's all these other women that they call the Merry Murderesses on Murderous Row. And the funny thing about this movie is that everything in her head is she's imagining it as a musical.
Yes.
So everything is a musical act. Roxy has to go to trial. She finds a lawyer named Billy Flynn, who's the best criminal lawyer in town.
Played by a gerbil man himself.
I think that's a rumor. Played by Gerbil Man himself, named Richard Gere.
We hope no gerbils were hurt in the making of this movie, but we cannot confirm nor deny that.
There's no gerbils in the movie.
Yes, but sometimes there'll be assistants on film sets who have to get things for actors.
I think that was a rumor with him, though. Right?
That was a rumor. But it's fun.
It's a funny rumor.
Yes, I wonder how he feels about that. But he strikes me as somebody who doesn't have a good sense of humor. But
no, he seems too serious.
He does, but keep going.
But he's not.
He's good in this movie, though.
He's very good in this movie.
Yes.
So, Billy Flynn is the best criminal lawyer in town. It's obvious that Roxy did it, but he wants to make her so likable that they don't think that she did it. And he's also Velma Kelly's lawyer.
Yes.
Would you want to fill in the gaps?
Well, because Roxy's case is starting to get a lot of shine, Velma kind of gets left in the background. And she's thinking to herself, okay, I'll get off, and then I'm going to have this huge career after this. And Mama Morton is kind of tells her, hey, you're not as hot as you think you are anymore. And Roxy is the new star of this town. You might want to suck up to her.
Yeah.
So she does her act for Roxy, who is very unimpressed.
She's doing paperwork.
Right. And everything's going good for Miss Hart until somebody else kills their husband and is taken to the prison. And
now she's a new star.
Yeah. And Roxy tries to come up with something fast, so she falls to the ground. Richard Gere rushes over to her, and the reporters are there, and she's like, I just hope that didn't hurt the baby. And then you hear Catherine Zeta-Jones is saying, shit, because she knows that this means that she's back in the spotlight again.
That was so funny.
That was great. They go to trial. There's a lot of stuff. I don't know if we want to give everything away.
No, but but he does.
Well, let me give some stuff away.
All right.
Okay. And she's thinking that she's a celebrity, and at one point she's thinking about replacing Billy Flynn with somebody else.
Yep.
She doesn't know who that's going to be. And then she finds out that the Hungarian girl who is part of the women murderers,
Katalin Holinsky,
who's part of the murderous
wives, murderous row, women.
Has just been sentenced to be, or her last appeal was just denied, so she's going to be executed the next week. So Roxy starts thinking, "Oh shit, I really need Billy." They patch things up. Goes on the stand. He's kind of lecturing her on what you need to do, and she gets off. And
because he's telling her we're gonna razzle dazzle him.
Yep. She ends up singing in a small club, trying to get an audition, and it doesn't go well. And your girl, Catherine Zeta-Jones, walks in. They talk about this, and they explain, well, we can work together and make some money, but we hate each other. But what's the one business you can work in together and hate each other and nobody cares? And it's show business.
And they end up performing together.
Yes.
That was
this is a really fun film.
It was fun, and I thought you would like it.
Yeah.
Especially because since everything is thought of as a musical, the trial was even entertaining because when there's a scene where Catherine Zeta-Jones' character Velma finds Roxy's diary, supposedly Roxy's diary. And while she is reading from the diary, and he's trying to defend Roxy, he starts this little tap dance. And I thought that was great.
Oh my God.
At the end, he's like, the defense rests. And can you explain to the audience, the jury?
That was great.
That was great. That was such a fun movie. So I'm glad you liked it.
Yes. There is a lot of truth in the statement that you could work with somebody in show business and hate each other's guts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm wondering how you feel about that as an audience member.
Watching the movie?
Well, we're watching films in general. Does it ever surprise you when you see a film and you think these people had such great chemistry together? Or even listen to a great piece of music from a band, and then you find out that they hated each other when they did this.
It does surprise me. It does surprise me. Like, I remember hearing Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton do duets together. Yeah. But I heard that they just hated each other.
I heard that too.
I heard that they're just at each other's throats, and they just record this like I hear a song Islands in the Stream. Yeah. And I think, oh, I wonder if they're friends or, and I thought at one time that they were a couple. They weren't. No. And then I found out later on that
they were a couple of haters.
So yeah, it does surprise me sometimes.
Yeah, I would recommend this movie.
It's very good.
It's better than West Side Story.
I need to read up on West Side Story because, well, like I said, that was the second time I saw it. Mm-hmm. But Chicago, there's so much fun in this movie. A lot of fun.
It's not a deep film, but if you just want to have a good time, check this film out. Yeah. Yes. And then Babes. Oh, real quick, is there anything about the movie that you want to ask me about?
Yeah. What did you think of Amos? Because you had to feel bad for the guy.
I just felt that he was a lovable loser.
Oh, wow.
What did you think? He just wanted to be loved.
I felt bad for him, honestly. Yeah. I did, because all he wanted to do was love Roxy. Roxy, it seems that she didn't really love him. Mm-hmm. She was kind of using him to get to the top. And because Amos was working long hours, she could just run around on him. Yes. I love that part where in her music sequence, she's in a club and she's singing about her life in front of an audience and her marriage to Amos, and that the name on everybody's lips was Roxy. Yes. Right? Because she's a star. So, Renee Zellweger was just great in this movie.
She is. She's really good in this movie.
Really, really good. Yeah.
So is Catherine Zeta-Jones. They all did an excellent job.
Yes, they did. Yep. Yes, they did. Yep. But I did have to feel bad for Amos.
I did too.
He didn't have anything.
Nope.
After that. No baby, no wife. Roxy went off to be a star with Velma.
I like too when he finds out she's pregnant and he's talking with Richard Gere, and Richard Gere's just like, do the math. You can't be the father. And then when he's on the stand, Richard Gere's like, and you just assume that you're not the father of this kid.
That's great.
Yes.
That is great. So Richard Gere is a sleazy lawyer in this one, but a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah, he was not the sharpest tool in the shed.
No.
But you had to love him, though.
It was great stuff.
Yes, it was.
Yes. Jaylo.
Yes.
Then we watched a film that neither one of us had seen. And I think it's the best movie we saw this weekend.
Oh yeah, it was a long one, but it was good.
Called Anatomy of a Murder, directed by Otto Preminger and starring Jimmy Stewart.
Yes.
Now, we should say, after Chicago, we ate the rest of the cookies, and then I asked Miss A something about the movie, and she starts telling us about it and says, it's 2 hours and 41 minutes long. And I thought, uh-oh. Did I make a good choice advocating for this movie?
And we did make a good choice.
It turned out to be excellent.
It was very good.
I don't want to give too much away, but I'll give the basic premise.
Okay.
Jimmy Stewart is this attorney who we get the sense that he's really good at his job, but that he's more concerned with his extracurricular activities of playing jazz music, fishing, hanging out with his buddies, this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a call from a woman who has this case that's been in the papers, but Jimmy Stewart's been out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, his private investigator, who's also a close friend of his, is there and says, you got to take this case. The case revolves around a lieutenant in the army who killed a man because he believes that person raped his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And the lieutenant said that he did it.
Yep.
So there's no question about whether he's innocent or guilty. The question resides over, was he right or wrong to kill this man?
Exactly.
And Jimmy Stewart has to determine that.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts spending time with the wife, Lee Remick.
Who is a Laura Mannion.
Yeah, who's incredible.
Yeah.
I've become a Lee Remick fan recently.
Yeah.
Yep. And things start to unfold. I don't want to give too much away again. They eventually go to trial. The judge seems like a nice guy, but he's a little bit out of his element.
Yeah.
Because he was called in since the presiding judge was having some issues.
Yep.
Right? Or the person who's going to be the judge. I don't know.
Yeah. Something like that.
Jimmy Stewart gets the guy off at the end of the movie, but we're a little bit unclear if this is a good man who Jimmy Stewart got off.
Right.
Because at the end of the movie, the wife says something about, I know he's going to kick me later.
No, that's not what she said.
How did she phrase it?
She said, I'm going to wait for him in the car. And she said, and I'm going to be kicked to kingdom come. Or I will be I forgot what she said. Something about being kicked to kingdom come, but she said it in a fun way. It wasn't like...
We weren't sure if she was joking or serious.
We weren't sure if she was joking or serious, but she seemed happy.
And the guy left town without paying Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
I really like this movie.
She and her, both her and her husband left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we don't know if the lieutenant is a good guy or not.
Yeah, and there was a lot of funny things in it, and there was also an appearance by Duke Ellington.
Yep, brief cameo, but it was good, and he wrote the musical score for this film.
It was good.
It was really good.
It was really, really good.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun, a lot of laughs.
I know people often get turned off when they hear a film is almost 3 hours long,
mm-hmm.
and plus it was made in the late 50s.
Yeah.
But this film is good.
And it was actually kind of edgy for its time because it was talking about rape and it was talking about garments, undergarments, and some other things, hitting women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of edgy for its time, but I think it was also because it was close to the 60s and a different decade.
A question I have for you.
Okay.
And this could apply to this film or to Primal Fear.
Mm-hmm.
What have we learned this weekend about supporting somebody who we know is guilty of something, but we think may have had good intentions behind what they did?
Well, I mean, I guess it goes to what we were talking about yesterday about being fooled.
Mm.
There are people that are good at fooling, and there are people that are not so good. Or you just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You don't know where to go because it's so confusing.
In some ways, we probably, now this is all in retrospect, but if I had this weekend to live over again, I would have shown you Primal Fear and Anatomy of a Murder.
Right.
On the same night.
Right.
Because they kind of fit together, because they're both about, lawyers who take a high profile case, and there's some questionable stuff about the person on trial, even though in both cases we know they're guilty.
Yeah, right. I probably would not if I knew, I don't know, the verdict was fine, but I was still a little bit, I don't know if that would have gone with Chicago, though.
Yeah, I'll take the L on that one. The verdict was a miss, and I did advocate for that film.
It's okay. We both didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, really.
Thank you, babes.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Newman got an Oscar nomination for it.
He was good in that movie, though.
He was good in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie itself is just...
I just wish it was a little bit more explained. It was a little bit confusing, to be honest. But we had a fun couple of movie nights.
Yeah.
We did.
All right, Anatomy of a Murder. I'd give it an 8.5.
I would too. I would too. Well, I mean, both that movie and Chicago were both good. I think it would be close for me.
It's close, but I think I liked Anatomy of a Murder a little bit more than Chicago.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, there was a little bit, Chicago was definitely funnier.
Yeah.
But Anatomy of a Murder, it really made you think.
It did. And it still had a lot of humorous stuff.
A lot of stuff. I thought it was really funny when they were whispering to each other.
Yeah, I didn't think that there was going to be a lot of humor in this movie.
Me neither.
I think that's what it had in common with In the Heat of the Night. I didn't expect either movie to have as much humor as it did.
They both did, yes. Yeah.
Would you recommend this movie, Anatomy of a Murder, to anyone in your family? Excuse me, I just burped.
That's okay.
And if so, what is your elevator pitch?
I guess my elevator pitch would be, if you want to see some crazy antics in a courtroom, but also think about who's on trial.
Yes.
Watch this movie and also have fun watching Chicago.
Nice. But you will recommend it to your relatives. Or
all the Jimmy Stewart movies that we've seen, there isn't anyone that was extremely bad.
Yeah. I don't think Mr. Smith Goes to Washington holds up for me. Mm-hmm. And I had some issues with The Shop Around the Corner, but neither of them really sucked.
No, they were actually, for the most part, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then after we watched the movies, I told you that Jimmy Stewart read a poem about his dead dog on The Tonight Show and got a book deal out of it. And I think you thought I was making this up.
I was like, are you serious? He writes poetry?
And then I pulled up the clip on YouTube of him. Yeah. I always love a dog named Bo. Bo, you were so swell, and now you're stuck in hell.
That's not what he said.
It's so hard to tell. Well, I guess I'll be in heaven and remember when you were 7. And I'm glad we didn't name you Kevin. Instead, you have to know we named you Bo. And this is the way it was so.
Okay.
And now you're down low.
Okay.
But even though you're burning slow, I'll always love a dog named Bo.
That's not the poem.
Okay.
No, his poem was a lot nicer, and towards the end of the poem, you could feel that he was very emotional.
Yes.
It seemed like he just lost Bo, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing. I want to say this happened in 1981, that he was on The Tonight Show and read that poem.
And this is way before his wife Gloria died.
13 years before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 years before.
And then I started doing some poetry about Bo. Kind of similar to the one I just did.
But I mean, I honestly don't think that Jimmy Stewart was acting while he was reading. I think he really did miss his dog.
I think he really missed his dog too, but I also think this guy knows how to act. So he's great at emotion, and he knows how to get emotion out of people. You know what I mean?
I really don't think he was acting though.
No, I think the emotion behind it was true, but I think being an actor, he knows how to enhance it to get a reaction out of the crowd.
Huh. Who knew that Jimmy Stewart was a bit of a poet?
That's right. He wrote a book.
He did.
I believe it's on Bookshare. But I first saw his book of poetry in 2003 when I was at Borders Books in downtown Kona. No, I was at Middle Earth, which is another bookstore.
Middle Earth?
Yeah, it was named after something in Lord of the Rings.
Middle Earth is where they're from.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I never read Lord of the Rings, but they sold UCDs and books, and I was in their poetry section, and I saw the Jimmy Stewart book.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it, though.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. If he was alive, I would have loved to have talked to him and asked him to tell me stories.
Well, I told you my thing the other night.
Yeah.
He died in 97. His wife passed away 3 years earlier, and we're very sad about that. Mm-hmm. But I said, I wish my mom would have gone to Hollywood and married Jimmy Stewart because apparently he was worth like $30 million, according to Miss A.
Yeah.
And, who knows? He might have left me his Oscars in his will.
Didn't you say that you told your mom that and she thought it was funny?
She thought it was funny. She said, oh, he's way too old.
Can you imagine? And I made a joke. I said, can you imagine? It's like, and to my new stepson, Rick Hammond, I give you everything. You everything.
Including the ashes of a dog named Bo. And I said, well, I know what I'm throwing out first.
And we kind of laughed about that. Yes. It was quite funny.
Thank you, babes.
You know what I'm throwing out first? Use his book of poetry for kindling.
And the asses. Burn the asses of Bo.
Oh, that's terrible.
A Bo's being burned on earth and down below. Sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so just so I have it straight.
Uh-huh.
It's not that you think that all pets go to hell. You think that they cease to exist after they die.
I think so, but then at the same time, I'm not too sure. I don't know, because when I think about animals and their uses, right, they're either used for pets or food.
Go ahead.
And I don't know that they will be needed after they die.
Oh.
But, I mean, that's just because, we can go down this rabbit hole, but I don't know that we would go too far.
That's fair. We don't have to.
But no, I don't think they go to hell. I just think that they just go into the ground and they're not like humans.
Okay. So at least Bo's not in hell fetching the ball with Satan or anything.
Oh my goodness.
Jaylo.
Yes.
Did you have any dreams?
Yes, I did. It was kind of odd. I had a dream that it was a Sunday afternoon, and I went back to this girl's house. In my dream, her name was Natalie, which is kind of strange because it was a random name.
Yeah.
I like the name Natalie, but it was weird that was her name. So she takes me back to her place, and I was thinking, I wonder what we're going to have for lunch. And she said, oh, actually, I was just thinking about having dessert. So she gives me,
oh, Miss A.
Alexa, stop. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Anyway, so she comes back. I'm in her kitchen. She gives me something wrapped in a bag, and it's a piece of fudge that she made. And I thought, oh, this is really good. And then she gives me a glass, and it's a soda. It's like a homemade soda she made, but it's a warm soda. And it's kind of like a fruity tasting soda. And I thought, I'm thinking it's going to taste flat, but I tasted it and I'm like, this tastes really good. And it was like one of those dreams where I thought it was real.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Have you ever been to the World of Coke in Atlanta?
No, but you told me about it. I thought it would be kind of an interesting thing. That you said you liked it, right?
Well, Yes, but I also know the real history of Coca-Cola and the Coca-Cola Corporation. And I went there because my friends were going there. And even though I want to be all lefty and protest Coca-Cola because they're anti-union and have been forever, at the same point, there was nothing else to do that day. So if I'm being invited to go with my friends, I'm going to go and do something with them. Because me not going isn't going to stop Coca-Cola. And it is basically a big propaganda piece for their corporation. But anyways, at the end of the tour, they hand you Coca-Cola bottles that are right off the bottling thing, right? They've just been bottled. And when they do, they're actually warm.
Really?
At least that's my memory of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you try it?
Oh yeah, I saved it and I tried it when I got back to Denver that year.
And were they from the U.S. or were they from other countries?
It had just been bottled. So it's just come off the bottling.
The bottling thing.
Yeah. But now I will say this. There's an area of the world of Coke to where they have all Coke products from around the world that you're allowed to taste. And that was pretty cool.
Now I will say this because I don't drink Coke that much anymore. Very rarely do I drink it now. But I do like, and I haven't had this in a while, but I do like a Mexican Coke.
Yeah, Mexican Coke is good. My sister drinks it, and you can buy it here in the stores now.
Yeah, it's just hard to open it unless you have a good bottle opener.
Yeah, so I had gone to Hooters, the restaurant, a couple of nights before with a friend of mine. Her and I were waiting for some other people to get into town. Yeah, you know, this is in Atlanta, July 4th weekend, 07. And we had a waitress who was really nice. So we're walking around the world of Coke and we hear, hey, it's good to see you guys. We turn around and it's our waitress from Hooters.
Oh, wow. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard that, so I've never been to that place before, but I heard that they do have like good, like food.
It was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Wow.
But the experience was cool. That's the only time I've gone to Hooters.
Such a weird name for a place.
I know.
Yeah, and they only have one qualification.
Guy came up with this concept.
It's basically a sports bar. I mean, that's basically what it is, right?
Yeah, a place to objectify women, but it's fun. Yes.
Well, yeah.
If you're a guy in your early 20s.
If you're a guy, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jaylo?
Yes.
Your man had a dream?
Yes, tell me about that.
I was the same age as I am now. And it's so the dream is based in the modern age. But in the dream, I'm watching either a videotape or something on TV, and it's a documentary about these kids who get into like mindfulness and meditation. And it was made in the late 1990s. The documentary has, you're scratching your head.
Yes, I am. Sorry.
That's okay. Has two of my friends, except because the documentary was made over 20 years ago, they're teenagers and they're talking about mindfulness. And I'm just watching the TV fascinated by the fact that my friends are in a documentary.
Wow.
And that's basically it.
I had a dream kind of similar to that, except it wasn't about a documentary. I had a dream. This was a long time ago. I think I was in, I think it might have been in 8th grade. I had a dream that a friend of mine came back to Hawaii and he was there for a while, but his voice didn't change from when I remembered him the last time I saw him.
Oh, wow.
But it was odd too because he did come back.
Yeah.
But he was all grown up.
Oh, wow.
He was in high school by now. I mean, he was a little bit taller and his voice changed, but it was so weird that I dreamt about him. That was crazy.
Nice.
Wow.
Babes?
Yes.
We're about to wrap this up.
Yes.
But first, what, if any, self-love exercises do you plan to engage in this week?
I don't do the self-love thing, but as I've said before.
Self-care.
Self-care, I don't do that either.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Self-care, self-love, I guess self-care is different. That's a really good question. I'm almost Well, I think I'm close to being halfway done with the book. It's a long book, I know. I've taken a while, but
And I should say that I was joking with a friend a couple months ago, and I said, "Yeah, Alana likes to read 15 minutes of the book a day." Sorry, keep going, babes.
Mm-hmm. That's not true, everybody.
More like 5. No. Go ahead.
Stop it.
Sorry, babes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I there are some things that I need to take care of because it's the beginning of, it will be the beginning of the next month, February.
Yes.
Because, a special day is coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I'm gonna be birthday boy.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, yours is in December, my dear. Another one.
Okay. Nice.
So I gotta think of what I'm gonna do for that. I may get somebody a present. Ooh. I don't know what.
What's it for the birthday boy?
It's not your birthday.
Okay, it's coming up a little bit.
My birthday will be soon. In the next couple of weeks, it will be in 2 more months. But okay. Hint. Okay. Unless you already thought of it.
I actually thought of a present, but I'm not sure if you're gonna like it.
What do you mean what do you mean you're not sure I'm gonna like it?
Well, because it has to do with kitchen stuff. Uh-huh. And whenever I bring up the idea of getting you kitchen stuff, you always say, I don't have enough room for that, Bob.
Well, I really don't know if I will, though. That's the thing.
You have more room in your kitchen than I do in mine.
Okay.
Sorry, keep going.
It doesn't have to be a kitchen thing, but, okay. Yeah, I guess, I'm gonna keep on, with the book and try to finish it in a timely manner.
Nice.
I really need to get back to writing. That's something I have been for sure. Definitely, I've, been very lax on.
Good.
I've been neglecting it because things have been coming up, yes. But I really need to do that so I can get my last chapter.
Life will always come up, my child.
Your child?
Life. No, I'm joking, babes. Keep going.
Your child.
Keep going, babes.
Keep
going, babes.
Okay. So there's a bunch of things that need, my attention. So we'll see what, the next month will bring.
Nice.
Because, it will be, February this week.
I was actually more curious about the next week, but I hear you, babes.
You know what I mean? Yes. This coming week.
There we go, Jaylo. I plan to keep on doing morning pages. I feel that that's really productive, and I want to survive the week and not get into any major injuries. Major injuries? Yes.
Like what?
Well, I don't want to slip and break my head open or anything like that.
Oh, what?
I'm going to try to avoid major injuries.
Do you get major injuries every week?
Every week I break my skull open and my brains fall out.
No, you don't.
Yeah, every single week, babes.
No, it doesn't.
Yep.
No.
It's been happening since I was 9.
Okay, I think you're lying about that.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it feels smooth over here.
I did a good job. What can I say?
My goodness.
I love you, babes. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
I think we're good. I think we should do this, and then you're going to have to kick me out because it's going to start raining in about an hour.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I think we wrap this up, and then you pack me some stuff, and then kick me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to pee as well.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I think everybody needs to know that.
So you can either open your mouth, or I can use your bathroom, or I could use your bathroom. What do you want me to do?
Bubs, what do you think?
I think open wide?
No!
Okay. I think I'll use your bathroom.
Just for that, I don't think I need to kiss you.
No. We should say that you told me to do that joke before we did this.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Okay, well give me a kiss because you need to calm down.
No.
This will help you. And I'm doing this as a favor to my
what?
It'll help you. And I need to do I'm doing this as a favor to my little Jaylo.
Oh my goodness.
All right, babes. Unless there's anything else you want to say.
That was gross.
Okay, that was gross.
The joke was gross.
I know, and I blame you for it. Give me a kiss.
No.
Yeah.
What? I just did.
All right, babes. We good?
Yes.
All right, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.